Hello, thank you for joining me. You're watching Esther from Stampin Star Creations. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator here in the UK. I'm going to try and recreate this card for you. Now this is my prototype, just to show you. In fact, let me try and draw you in a bit. So in here you can see a snowy scene, and then if you press it, it moves the snow about. So I've left this one for a few days just to make sure that the paste doesn't actually dry up when it's inside, and it seems to be coping fine. So I'm going to try and recreate this for you today. So I've grabbed some, this is going to be mounted onto an A6 white card, like so. So let me just draw you, that's better. So I've cut down some Night of Navy cardstock, and here are the measurements roughly. So I've cut it 5.5 inches across by 7.5 inches, and then scored in the middle at 3.25. I think I did actually have to take a bit more off one of the sides, I can't remember, to make it look right. So this involves a bit of chopping and cutting. Now when I'm using the stitched oval frame, because I don't have the oval ones, but if you have an oval one then use that instead, but it doesn't really matter as long as you get the oval shape. This is the largest of all the stitched framelets, and you want it a bit, rather than bang in the middle like I've done, you want it further down so that you can fit your sentiment across. So I could even put my sentiment on first, I guess. Yeah, let's do that. So I went in with the Night of the Navy just to have something a bit different, and it makes the wording stand out if you do colour on colour. And I'm going to bend this stamp slightly on both ends just to make it more oval. And put it roughly in the middle. Made a boo-boo. I'm going to turn him over. Pressing down too hard. Let's try again. It's better. Okay, so yeah, you're going to cut out the oval on the front of the card. Now I can see where to exactly cut that out. Now the next stage is you want to use the star edgelet. Oh, are they edgelets? Well, the whole thing is called edgelets. I'm using the Hometown Greeting edgelet dies. So we're going to use this die here to create a starry scene in the back of the oval shape. So sometimes when you die cut this, the imprint of the outside of the die shows up. So I'm going to go from behind and cut it on the back. So once you do your first cut, you can then see where it shows through to know whereabouts to cut it. So I'll show you that process. So as you can see, I've cut from behind the card so that when you turn it round you can't see that indentation of where the die was. So now I know that I need to do just a few more stars on either side. Okay, so now all the stars are cut out, so when you fold it over you can see them through the paper. You then want to use, I'm going to use this die here. This was the one that with the houses fitted the most in the shape, so that's why I went for that. We're just going to cut that one out in Whisper White. So I've cut out the dies, and learning from my mistakes from my prototype, I've just used a piece of A6 to cut that out, and I've given more depth underneath the houses so that when you move the snow about you don't see the line where the edge of the card is. So you can use your brush and your sponge to brush out the gaps, or you can use your pokey tool to get those out. As you can see, I made a mess. So I'll come back to you for the next part of the process. Okay, so we're going to use a bit of fast fuse. Where is he? Getting on my fingers now. And we're just going to stick down the houses on the inside of the card. So you want to turn it so you can see where the houses are going. So that's on the front of the card where the oval is. Now next you want to get yourself some cellophane. I've used one of those cellophane packets to put cards in. You can use maybe one of those clear sandwich bags. Very similar process as you would fill like gel in a bag to make a underwater scene. So I'm going to use our embossing paste. You don't actually need a lot, and the trick is to try and open the bag so that you get the paste right at the bottom. Just trying to look for my other tools which I can't find. Okay, let's carry on without it. So grab a little bit of the paste, maybe about, I don't know, teaspoon I'm guessing, and you want to push that, make sure it goes right to the bottom of your bag. And then you can spread that out along the bottom. The more that you play with the paste, the looser it will get. So although it doesn't seem much at the moment, it is enough for the card. I've just realised I made a boo-boo. Right, you don't want this stuck down first, you want the snow to be stuck down first. Thankfully, I haven't put too much fast fuse, and I'm going to lift that up. Oh, it was very kind to me that time. I'm going to put a bit more fast fuse down and along the top. Sorry, this is very ad hoc. And then we're going to stick your plastic bag in with the paste, and then seal your bag over. Make sure it is sealed in properly so that you get that airtight.
Mum,
Hold a minute, I'm recording on YouTube, Dan. Can you just wait a minute? Sorry guys, hold on a second. Sorry about that. Okay, so I've sealed down the packet, and I'm going to go in again with a bit of sellotape just to seal that off. Actually, I can just use a bit of fast fuse. Sorry, it is just going to be one of those videos. Real time, this is as it is. As is. Okay. Got a bit of fast fuse on the other side. So, yeah, don't do as I do, do as I say. You want to stick your snow first, okay? And then the houses go behind the snow like that. So again, whack on that fast fuse. Now put your houses on. Just going to turn it around to make sure that looks okay. Then once everything's all done, then that can be sealed down, and then you can press that to create your snow scene. And then just push it back down with your fingers. So seal all the corners, seal all the edges. Make sure everything's all tucked in. And then that's ready to be mounted. Oh no, I've forgotten something. I told you it was one of those videos, didn't I? I did put a bit of a starry scene in my prototype, which I should have done beforehand, because I'm doing it all backwards today. So I'm going to put in a moon. This is using our craft white ink. Put a few starry stars in. Create the scene. And then you can go ahead and mount that onto your Whisper White cardstock. And that's ready to give and ready to play with. There, we got through. Thank you so much for watching, and do subscribe to my channel for further videos. They're not all this messy, but hopefully it gets across the process that you need to go through to make this card. It is not that difficult. I just probably made it look a bit trickier than it is. Do give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed watching or you enjoyed this technique, and do comment below if you have any questions. Thank you ever so much. Have a good day. Bye.